which was very good for making him horny.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have also some use cases or some products in mind. We could make this really the spot or the main feature, and I'm thinking of museums and exhibitions where you can have an iPad for your guests that could do something on the beamer. I don't know, something like that. And the other, oh, this is stupid. Okay. The other demo is something that's really work in progress, but I think it's okay for. This is like me. It's basically a tool to have presentations, but I will show you what I mean. It can convert PPT, PPTX, PDF and all this, but for the sake of time, because it takes a minute or two, I can drop it here. Oops. I wanted to drop it here. I can drop it here. Good. And I drop it to here. I can, but you don't show. No. Normally you would have a thumbnail here, but yeah. This is normally you drop a PDF and it gets uploaded and it splits the pages into JPEGs, and this is what you get. You have the presentation here online under this URL. And you can switch here, and what you now have when enabling Socket.io is another window, and you give someone this URL without the administration string here, the top secret one. And what it gives you is the ability to flow. Have someone remote, if you're on Skype and you have a presentation and you want to share it with a room here. I could be in my office and hold this presentation here. I could on my screen just press here and you could say, you could see where I am. And this is also done via Socket.io, so that this client sees what I'm doing here. He can go somewhere else in the meantime, and the big plan is that there's something popping up saying you're not synced with the speaker, but you can sync back and you click here and then you're again on the slide, or yeah.
Do you have a full screen mode?
A full screen, yes, where, yeah. It's planned to have here some full screen where you have not this in the URL, which would be very stupid if you hold it live, so you're not remote but you want to use this tool. And the full screen mode is planned because there's not much space here. But anyways, this is the unauthorized user view. It would also have no drag drop PDF here or something like this, or notes or markers. Yeah, it would be very simplistic. That's another use case of Socket.io. And is it okay to show one more demo and then we stop here? Okay. What you have is a WebRTC demo. We are now really jumping around in the web technologies, but I think it's worth it. What we have here is me. Hi. This is WebRTC. This enables my webcam over HTML5 web audio video API. Don't ask me. I did it, but I don't care much. And this, so what's a bit stupid about this is that you see the same picture because it's the same webcam, but ideally this would be another laptop. And this would be your laptop, and we could see you here. And what I can do is create peer connection. Which would cause I have no votes. What I see here is my local picture and the remote one, and this is the other local one, and this picture here. basically it's video chat in the browser without a plugin. It's yeah, you don't need Flash.
It's
Yeah.
not IE5 though.
It's not.
It's not IE5 compatible.
I don't think. But what we did with Socket.io, this is not Socket.io. What we did here is that you have to be able to do this. You have in the beginning you have to connect these two peers with each other, and this is when you first connect. You have to transmit some kind of string where everything about your internet connection and everything about your firewall, or the important parts to get through the firewall, are in this included, and you have to transmit this to the other peer so it can make this video chat connection, and the other way around too. And it's just, it all works, but you have to transmit this message. And this, I have done this with Socket.io here because it was very easy to set up. It was 5 minutes and it worked, and I had nothing to do but adding 2 lines. It was emit and on event. Do it. Yeah, this was my presentation. Q&A. Yes.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
First, the IO Connect call.
Yes.
Do you pass in the server URL there?
Yeah, default is localhost and the same port. And
Okay.
all this.
So, but generally you pass it in.
Yeah.
Because you usually not work on localhost.
Yeah.
There's no domain restriction.
There is usually the SOP, same origin policy.
Yeah.
But Socket.io has something built in that repasses the SOP. I didn't test it.
For the peer-to-peer, you had to use that.
No. For the peer-to-peer, you can use a little trick. That means you use a stun server. A stun server is...
I can look it up afterwards.
yeah, I can show you shortly if you want. I think it's exactly this project. Yes. You use a stun server and you do it this. You create this WebKit peer connection to a stun server, and this is the stun server from Google. Google provides a stun server, and the stun server is basically something that lets you connect 2 peers in generally without having to mess with firewall settings and port and router NAT and everything. It just, you, yeah, it's hard to explain, but you connect to this stun server, and WebKit, the peer connection module of HTML5 recognizes that it's a stun server and not really the peer you want to connect to, and transmits then the data it can gather about firewalls and all this. And this stun server takes care that the peers can communicate with each other. Otherwise you would have to know the IP address of this client here, or the port settings, or whatever. And the stun server is kind of a help to that.
But the stun server is only for setting up the connection.
Yes.
The actual communication does not go through the
I don't
stun
think so.
It's actually peer-to-peer.
I don't know this.
Because otherwise it would really be peer-to-peer.
Yeah, it's peer-to-peer. Okay, that's a good one. It's peer-to-peer. It's really browser-to-browser.
Okay.
But it's really a question if the stun server is not in the middle. But I think really it's the first. Does someone know it?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you would piece of Google pretty quickly. Like, the whole world. If they had to close your traffic.
I don't think they'd mind.
Well, of course, for the demo.
I doubt they notice.
Okay, are there any?
I guess that goes into my second question. Do you see in the inspector anything about the network traffic that you're causing? Like, 'cause you'd see if it goes to Google on one hand,
This is what Google sees.
and I guess for video it's hard, but for the
Socket.io.
socket calls,
Yes.
do you see those anywhere?
You see them, but I think it's hard to look at. It's not very nice.
Just something you
But they show up in the network tab.
Yeah, I've got to check this quickly because they show up, but not as the way as single requests, as it's not really single requests. It's well, this is it. This is which you have, and I can try to stupid layout. Yeah, it's not very fluid in all this, but I don't know, I don't think you can see it. But you just see this initial request, this is your WebSocket connection. Maybe you can see it if you change some settings, I don't know.
I guess it depends on the transport layer Socket.io then uses, and if it's WebSockets, you just have to use WebSocket inspection tools in the browsers that have them.
This could be it. You know it, or?
I'm just assuming, like, doing looking at WebSocket traffic with Chrome, not the Canary build is kind of annoying, and doing it with Opera is kind of annoying too, because you see the traffic but they miss data, and well, it sort of works out.
I have a general question about WebSockets. Something I wanted to look up but I didn't. Is it UDP or TCP? It's TCP.
Yeah.
TCP. Okay. So basically you couldn't lose packets.
No.
But the inspectors do.
Yeah.
Good.
Fine. Using a port sniffer works out best for doing WebSocket traffic inspection.
Yeah, what I usually do is looking in the Node.js output, and here you have everything. This is just heartbeats, I think, for keeping alive the connection. But you see here, if an event happens, or you can always output it in your Node.js code. I think that's you did that. Yes.
Or use Wireshark.
Wireshark
works.
But as you said, depending on the transport protocol it uses, if you use JSON-P or something, you would have single requests if it really falls down to AJAX calls or something like this. Depends on that.
But I think you can also define not to use WebSockets when you're developing something, and then you can see the stuff going over the wire.
Yeah.
And then if you go into production, just switch.
Yeah, my presentation, my tiny little super presentation is over. What you see here is the official socket. Oh man, it's the official Socket.io website, socket.io, and WebSocket overview. Some guy making this blog, but he did .name. Okay, but he did some but he did some very nice quick overview about what WebSocket really works. But it makes no sense to pick. Yeah, it just explains all the stuff I did here in my presentation, or some of the stuff. And yeah, I think it's a good resource. And the Socket.io webpage is very minimalistic. But I think that because they have, you can see any point documentation, but you have how to use, and it gives you very, very quickly some hints how to start creating different things. You have here, sending and receiving events, the basic stuff, and then you have sending to specific clients back or to other clients back. Namespaces, channels, and broadcasting and all this. You have it with some tiny examples you can really learn from, and as it's not really much to deal with Socket.io, there's not very much to learn. It's very straightforward. You have this often is enough. And you have here the wiki, which is quite complete but not very nice. Yeah. Are there any other questions?
This file upload you do with Socket, on which browsers does it work?
On Chrome. I didn't test it on other browsers.
Are you uploading through the socket?
Yes.
I guess.
Well, then you don't really need the socket. There's a nice API for file upload in Chrome anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, anyway, what is it like file upload? You drag a file and that's it, or like you drag and drop some file on the browser? Or what?
I mean, you can
How
do that in
you pick the
Firefox
file
as well.
you send?
Over the file reader API of
Yeah, okay.
HTML5.
So anyway, if you don't have that, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you have that, you most likely have WebSockets.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay.
But I think file upload is a very solved problem.
But with relation, so how does it relate to HTTP? The WebSockets protocol and the HTTP protocol, they are unrelated?
Yeah, I think they are unrelated. It's not. You can see it also if you. I mean, that's stupid argumentation, but you can see it here. That WS. It's not HTTP because you have a whole overhead of. Hello, I'm HTTP person, so and I want to get and.
Actually, the initial, well,
Yeah.
the connection actually starts as an HTTP request that the browser sends, and then the server will ask the browser to upgrade the connection to WebSockets. So
You can see that there.
So you can actually see the headers. It's doing a GET request, and then the server responds with a switching protocols, which tells it to upgrade the connection to WebSocket. And when the handshake is completed, it basically is just a TCP connection which stays open and which has just, well, it's kind of a thin layer on top of TCP, which does some crazy magic stuff, but not very much.
So what if I send just a blob of binary data from Node.js? So how do I deal with that?
There is a binary message type for WebSockets, but since Socket.io supports lots of transports, I don't think it can use that. But if you use only WebSockets, then you could send binary data like that. Otherwise, I guess you'll need to base 64 encode it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking because the WebChill demo where I transmit the rendered scene is basically this. I think.
And the video you've shown,
Yes.
so this, how
It's
do
not
you get?
WebSocket.
It's not
Yeah.
WebSocket.
Well, the peer-to-peer stuff is not.
It's not WebSocket. It's just this first bunch of how I can connect to the peer to send this to the other peer. Because, yeah, I don't know. When you could do it with some ID and yeah, you could do this. It's a shame.
Except for Node.js, what servers are there responding to WebSocket requests these days?
Any WebSocket server.
Is there Apache modules that you would that are like trustworthy these days and stable?
The Java world is Jetty.
Okay.
The new version is Jetty.
Okay.
I
Because
have no idea.
I have a feeling that we wanted to implement it like last March, where Jordi told me like go for Node.js and go for Socket.io. Socket.io sucked back then. It really sucked. Like it crashed. It stopped transmitting, and at some point we just it was nice playing with it, and now it works. Like if you update libraries now, and it just works. Awesome. Node.js, Socket.io works. So I have a feeling that as soon as you've implemented the infrastructure needed for WebSocket connectivity, or say you have like a huge badass corporation that pays you to implement a nice stock ticker or something, and you implement it using WebSockets, as soon as you have Socket.io ready in your website, you'll start using it a lot more. As soon as it's there, you'll start using it for, I don't know, authentication, contact forms, live updates, like Twitter feeds. And then I have a feeling that the web will just like slowly or maybe rapidly turn much more real time just because people can actually use it. But for that to happen, I don't want to go to the customer and tell him like, next to your Apache farm, you now also have to start your Node.js farm. And as soon as somebody comes to me and tells me that, hey, it does not just run on a Node, it runs basically on application, or Java application servers or something, I have a feeling that it's going to spread a lot more. So, no Apache.
I think so.
I haven't actually researched myself. No Apache. Okay.
there is a way of doing WebSockets with PHP, but then again, why would you? Like,
I was talking of badass corporations,
yeah,
not
but
like the tiny.
yeah, but Apache you said Apache module, and every badass corporation has some crappy WordPress blog. So
That is actually totally true. That is actually so true.
Just WebSocket WordPress plugin.
yeah,
Perfect.
but like you can even do it with PHP, so you can do it with real languages.
I can admit that it's only Node.js that can provide that WebSocket. It just make no sense from the W3C side and all the other. It would make no sense to have a technology and no Apache modules or something.
I can't give you a name, but there is a WebSocket server for Python.
Okay.
Yeah, that just works.
SocketPy?
Probably.
PySocket?
Basically, in order to have main connections, it's usually easier to do that if you have some kind of event loop. So most of the libraries that do this in all of the languages are built on some kind of event loop. Like in Ruby you have event machine, in Python you have, what is it, Twisted, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what I would look for if I
Gotcha.
were looking for something.
Okay, are there any other questions or discussions? I think discussions can be moved after Philip's
Yeah, I think
presentation.
we should wrap up because we have another presentation.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much.